All right. This is a quick video on the landscape around here, the terrain. As you can see, hopefully you can see it on the camera, but there are deep crevices along here, which is not a bad thing unless you're mowing it. Then, yeah, it's pretty treacherous, but there's like a crevice that comes down and then it has little indentions in the property. And the goal is to create swells to slow down erosion, have more water retention on that hill, and to be able to have, when water comes down the natural way, the natural contour of the land, to pool, to make a little small pool in each indention as it comes down to hold water. When that overflows, it comes down, and then it'll come down this little bed right here, this natural bed, which is pretty, it used to be, I think, imagining a lot of clay because you can see it still, but there's also a lot of sand in it, which I love. And that's where the water flows. There's another indention the same there, have little pools there to catch water for animals and to create an ecosystem by adding a couple fish in there. And just to have, I mean, adds to the beauty of the land, sure. But the benefits of doing that are incredible because you have little spaces where animals can have access to water, especially during your rainy seasons. And then you can slow down the process of the water sliding off your hill, and eroding your minerals away. And I'm sure that this is full of different kind of minerals, but it gets dropped off in that ditch down there that I showed you guys. That's about 14, 15 feet deep. So I'm trying to stop that from happening as much. And then we are going to do something with that area down there because there's natural wet spring there. And but right now we want to get this where we can plant our trees, our fruit trees, our windbreakers. I'm more and more every day. I'm thinking about black locust. I know they have runners, but that timber you can't beat, and we will be using that timber. If you don't use the timber, probably don't want to do it. There's a lot of management that goes on with these things, but the goats are going to help me a lot. As a matter of fact, I probably will have to keep them from certain areas while I'm working on it. Ideally, we'll have paddocks out here. There's a fence line on this side, there's a fence line on that side. We'll have it divided up into paddocks for the goats to be rotated and controlled in a manner which will be beneficial to the land. And there's a lot of privet. Privet grows so quickly. It also runs. It's a Chinese privet, and it came out. I don't know. It's everywhere here. You can't even, if it will completely block a forest, the understory of a forest, from being able to be walked through. It's great for hedging, but again, you've got to maintenance it. You've got to keep it maintenance. You have to cut down what you don't want. And a lot of that is going to be forage. I'm not too concerned about it. A lot of it is growing up right now. I want my goats out here eating it. And they're browsers, so if they're not in a controlled area, I've basically got them controlled by command, by vocal sounds. But I have to be out here with them. And then my dog, Kiwi, he's a little too aggressive with them lately. Since we made the transition to move, he used to be really good at backing off and only going at our command, but he's adapting, and we need him to obey commands even better. So I'm working with him every single day. I don't know if you can see him pacing out there. He's the black one. The tan one, if you can see him, is Angel, and he's just a companion, but he's a rescue. He's the sweetest dog you've ever met. He wouldn't hurt a fly. But Kiwi, he nips, and sometimes he gets so excited it's a little scary for me to see him do it, but I mean, you can just open the gate and the goats will fly back in their fence. He hasn't ever killed a goat, ever. Um, he has, by mistake, killed ducks by stepping on them and pulling their feathers, which I'm not. He has to be supervised at all times right now. And once we get I hear you, I'm coming to get you. He's barking at me to let him out. Anyway, let me go let them out, and we'll talk more about the land. think about your contour of your land. We have a lot of variety of contours on this land, variety of terrain, and think about your waterways. Think about where the water is going to flow before you do anything on your property. Think about where the sun is coming up, where it's going down, what hemisphere you're in. Um, all of it's going to play a role in how you plant everything. And I'm not saying that I'm the expert at this. I say that every time because you have to. When you don't have a degree in something, people just automatically think you just know nothing. Um, I'm a person who likes to think critically. I like projects. I like restoration of land. I love taking care of my animals, and I love that the fact that we have an area up here, and I'll show you up close what it looks like from a different angle because that red clay kind of makes it look like a barren wasteland now, or still. But I've planted tons of roses. I'm planting golden forsyth, um, fig trees, persimmon trees, tiger lilies. I mean, there's going to be a variety of things. It's not going to be in the manicured way of, say, Biltmore House. It's going to be in a diverse way in guilds. And the flowers are mostly for pollination. Yes, I see you, baby. He just jumped up and grabbed my leg with both paws without his claws. So he just wants my attention. This is Nico. Hey, Nico. Hey, Nico. Hey, Nico. Yeah, just a little bit of kidding. I have to. My husband planted hundreds of sunflowers in that clay area. The tap roots are really, really deep, are going deep, and hopefully it opens up the clay. So the beans that he's planting there, the dragon tongue beans, the climbing beans, and bush beans, cucumbers, he's going to plant all three in that spot, and then the sunflowers will be used as a place for them to climb. So we're going to restore that clay area for those of you concerned about what's going to grow in there. Anyway, I'll let the dogs out now and talk to you guys later.